Good day, folks. Welcome to Just Omer. My name is Omer C. Ahern Jr. and this is my periodic report as a Grafton County, New Hampshire County Commissioner. I am one of 3 county commissioners here in Grafton County, New Hampshire. My district is District 3, and so I'm elected from the towns in the southeastern and eastern part of Grafton County. I serve, including the towns, of course, Plymouth and Hebron and Holderness and Wentworth, and up as far as Campton and Warren, and down to the southern part of the county, Alexandria, Bristol, and Ashland. So I serve with 2 other commissioners from District 1. The chairman or the chairperson of the Grafton County Board of Commissioners, Wendy Piper, from the town of Enfield. She's District 1, and that's the towns of Hanover, Enfield, and the city of Lebanon. And then we also serve with Commissioner Linda Lauer, who serves the towns in western and northern Grafton County. And by state statute, from as early as the 1870s, the county commissioners are responsible for the operation of the county nursing home, elderly facility, the Department of Corrections, the House of Correction, and the county jail. The county jail is for pretrial confinement. The House of Correction is for those folks who are found guilty of a criminal offense, and their sentence is in jail is no more than a year and a day in the House of Correction. And then historically, in order to feed the folks in the nursing home and the House of Correction and the staff there at the county home, historically, we have a farm, the county farm. And right now, Grafton County is the last dairy farm county in the state of New Hampshire. There are 10 counties in New Hampshire, and we really have an outstanding dairy farm, and we have some very good dairy herdsmen that work for the county, and that's a 7-day-a-week job, milking the cows twice a day. And so, especially in the present times that we have, the county farm is going to be very, very important, I believe, to the maintenance and the sustainability of what we have to do at Grafton County by providing the nursing home services for our elderly and medically needy. Maybe many of you, your parents or your grandparents are up there at Grafton County. And then, of course, there's always, unfortunately, a need for the correctional facility. And so we've got to be able to feed these folks. That's the one thing that everybody in the world has in common. We all need to eat. So these are the 3 things that we're responsible for. And part of where the money comes from for these things is we try to generate money through what we do with the county. Our most positive income source is the Registry of Deeds, and especially in the last couple of years where a lot of people are buying homes here in Grafton County and in the state of New Hampshire, coming from as far away as California, but a lot of New Yorkers, a lot of folks from New Jersey, and the big city areas coming to move to New Hampshire. And Grafton County is a very desirable place for some of these folks, with the one exception: we don't have the broadband to allow people to work, as efficiently from their homes. We do have internet service, but we don't have the broadband to make that more efficient. So one of the things that we're working on, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on this morning, is the county commissioners, the last board of county commissioners established a county broadband committee to look into what it would take to make sure that every town in Grafton County, about 39 towns, have broadband coverage. And Nick Coates, who is the administrator for the town of Bristol and who's also a member of the Campton Board of Selectmen, is the chairman of the County Broadband Committee. And he has been, keeping us up to date on what's going on with the Broadband Committee. And again, I'll talk a little bit about the Broadband Committee's request for ARPA funding. And again, this is the American Rescue Plan program that was put out by the federal administration. And in fact, that's one of the specific items under the ARPA plan is broadband installation and getting that available to the people, broadband. So the county commissioners met on Monday of this week, Monday, March 7th, because Tuesday, March 8th was election day here in New Hampshire, and we wanted to make sure that everybody had a chance to be able to get out and vote. So, as always, we start our meetings out usually at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we started with the Pledge of Allegiance at 9 o'clock. The first item on the agenda after the Pledge of Allegiance was Grant Nelson, the farm manager, and he gave us his monthly report on how things are going at the county farm. And again, that's a very important component right now, especially in light of the supply chain issues and what's going on internationally in Eastern Europe, and the cost of fuel prices going up all over the place, and again the supply chain issues, so that our grocery stores don't seem to always have as much as what we're used to seeing. So Mr. Nelson reported the first thing that he always reports on is the total number of cows that are presently available to be milked. We have 85 total cows, but currently there are 77 that are being milked, averaging 75 pounds per cow. The milk components are holding steady at 4.13% butterfat and 3.23% protein. Most of the cows that we milk are Holsteins, the black and white ones. 11,250 pounds of milk are being shipped every other day through Agrimark, and Grafton County received $25.06 per hundredweight for its February milk. And anything over $25 is, in this day and age right now, a pretty good price for milk. So we appreciate the good work that Grant Nelson and Ben White and Glenn Libby and Sergeant Griffin from the DOC do to make sure that our cows are milked twice a day. Of course, one of the issues we've been talking about is we don't have the inmate labor that we had planned on having. Right now, we've got one inmate that's able to work in the farm operation. Usually we have 6-10 inmates. So because of bail reform and the close down of the court system over the last couple of years, our inmate population available to work on the farm is way, way, way down. So that's going to create some challenges for us going forward. And that was the second item on Grant Nelson's. He's the farm manager. His report. He said one inmate is available for farm staff supervision, but he will be released in a couple of weeks, March 20th. We are approaching a period where there will not be any inmates available for farm staff to supervise for milking. This situation does need to be corrected, and we're doing the best we can. Sergeant Griffin is doing the best he can to work with what he's got. The third item on his farm report, there are 5 sows who are confirmed pregnant, and there are 5 that have a pregnancy check during the past veterinarian visit, and we'll see what happens with that. The fourth item is An advertisement was placed in the Bridge Weekly showcase to inform the public that there are potatoes available for sale. Right now, you can buy two 50-pound bags of potatoes, white or reds, and they have baking potatoes as well. You can buy two 50-pound bags for $20, or if you want to buy just one 50-pound bag, those are available for $12 a bag if you're only buying one bag. And those are available up at the farm. You've got to come up to the farm to get them. However, if you represent or know of a nonprofit or a local food shelf that would like to have potatoes to be able to give those who are in need, give us a call. Give the farm a call. Give the county commissioner's office a call, and arrangements can be made. So we've got potatoes to make available to the public. We really do. We had a good year for potatoes. The next item on Grant's report is navigating through the upcoming growing season with low or no inmate labor options. So this is something very, very serious that he's bringing to the attention of the commissioners, because ultimately the commissioners have to make some very difficult, challenging decisions. So the first option is, change the milking time, which might work better for the existing paid farm staff. B, temporarily reduce the numbers of cows that we are milking and not hire additional staff. The third option is to hire additional staff and not reduce the cow numbers. The fourth option is to hire a custom operator to do more of our crop work. And we have had a very good neighbor to the county farm, a longtime resident of the Haverhill area, Ahern Hatch. Been a very, very good neighbor. If we've ever had a breakdown of any of our county farm equipment, Howard and his team have been right there to, finish harrowing a field, finish chopping corn, anything that we need. And so, again, I've mentioned Howard's name before, and again, I just want to thank Ahern Hatch and his family for all the good services that they've rendered to the Grafton County Farm and thereby the people of Grafton County. So thank you again, Howard. And then the last item on the agenda, on the options with low or no inmate labor, is to do nothing and hope for the best. So we'll have to see what happens. Grant Nelson says that he will be meeting with his farm staff, the paid staff, to come up with a plan of action based upon that 5-item proposal in item number 5. And it looks like going forward into the future, inmate labor will always be a problem. The next item on the agenda was a report from Marcy Hornick, the Grafton County attorney, and she basically keeps us up to date on what's going on in the county attorney's office, and she discusses with us some of the challenges over the last 2 years, especially 2+ years now at this point, with the COVID and the closing down of jury trials in the court system, and trying to maintain the offices of the county attorney with people being sick and people wanting to be in quarantine or not wanting to get sick and working from home. So these were some of the things that she was continuing to talk about with us, specifically the felonies first situation, which it was some new legislation that was passed about 5 years ago, and that is not coming to fruition as everybody had hoped. So we are still working on that. I understand that she's working with Representative Ned Gordon from the town of Bristol on some of these felony first concerns. So we met with her for about 30 minutes or so. The fourth item on the agenda after the pledge, the farm manager, the county attorney, we had a brief opening report on a wage study for the Grafton County home, for the Grafton County complex, for people working in the nursing home, medical staff, nursing staff, housekeeping, dietary department, administration, county administration, the folks working in the on the farm, folks working in the registry of deeds, and folks, of course, working as corrections officers and administrative staff over at the Department of Corrections. So this was this wage study presentation, which is quite a little presentation put out by PayPoint HR, and it's a pay and classification audit for Grafton County, New Hampshire. You will be hearing more about that in the future. I do have a few concerns with that study, in that we have to understand, and a lot of people seem to forget the fact that Grafton County is a rural county in New Hampshire. Yes, you know, Plymouth doesn't necessarily look like a rural community, but it is in many, many ways. The agricultural components here in Plymouth are very, very important. Yes, we have a university here, but and we have some small businesses here, and you know, Plymouth is kind of the hub. But again, agriculture is important to the Plymouth area, and then of course you've got the Lebanon, Hanover area, where you've got a major institution of higher learning and education in Dartmouth College, and then you've got Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center over there in Lebanon. But we're still just a lot of rural, a lot of small businesses here in Grafton County. And yeah, we've got Littleton, but again, that's a very rural type community. So we've got to understand that we're a rural community. We have a lot of elderly folks that live in Grafton County. And so we have to be careful how we spend every dollar. And again, as I said, the last tax bill that came out, that the county was involved in, the county taxes, did not go up a single penny. And again, we have to thank the delegation for making that final decision for the budget. But what the commissioners for a proposed budget presented to the county delegation was a very, very almost completely level funded budget. And but the delegation was able to work and add in a few things, but take some money from the unfunded accounts and brought in a zero increase in taxes. So this wage study presentation looked at, in my opinion, too many urban areas to come up with its study, so come up with its comparisons. So we're going to be talking about this in the future. I know the union folks up at the nursing home and the House of Correction are going to be interested in hearing what we've got to say. But again, we want to be fair to our employees. And one of the things I think the report from the PayPoint HR is that Grafton County does already offer some outstanding benefits. Medical benefits, retirement benefits, vacation, and earned time. We already are ahead of many, many locations. But again, we're a rural area, and we just can't have the same things that urban areas have. So stay tuned for that discussion. So that's pretty much what we discussed. Oh, there was one thing. There's an opportunity for the nursing home to receive a grant to help fund some of its nursing costs through the USAC. And we thought that we were going to be unavailable. We weren't going to be able to apply because the initial application date for that grant was sometime in April, but now they've extended, the USAC has extended the deadline to June 1st, so we can make an application for this grant. And the last items, one of the things, again, that the commissioners are concerned about is, and again, because of what's going on nationwide with the food supply chain and what's going on in Eastern Europe right now, we wanted to know what is the food supply safety, how much we have in reserve at the nursing home and at the DOC. We have been advised initially that the initial, and we only gave them a couple of days to take a look at the inventory. There's about a 4-week supply of food and an 8-week supply of water, drinking water at the nursing home. And the Department of Corrections wasn't really able to give us a figure because the person in charge of the dining and the dietary services at the Department of Corrections is on vacation. But we were given an initial figure of 2 weeks. That is what was in storage at the Department of Corrections. The other meeting that we had this week, which is kind of an interesting meeting, was the ARPA. We met yesterday, Thursday, and we met with the Broadband Committee about their request for money to further the middle mile and build out of a countywide, Grafton countywide system, a broadband system. And so there were 15 ARPA requests that were brought to the commissioners on yesterday at the meeting. And again, the first one was from the Broadband Committee, and their request was for $3,718,880. And this, again, was to start working on the countywide broadband project. And Nick Coates and the administrator from the town of Lincoln came in and made a presentation on this, and taking into account that there are other entities, commercial entities in Grafton County. New Hampshire Electric Cooperative has a broadband division now. Comcast, they're all involved in wanting to provide broadband services within the county. So we know that there's going to be some discussions between or among the County Broadband Committee and New Hampshire Electric Cooperative and some of the other vendors out there. So this request for $3,718,800 was indeed approved by the commissioners, but all of these requests have to then go to the County Delegation Executive Committee. And as I've said in the past, the county delegation is made up of all of the elected state reps from Grafton County. So the county delegation at the beginning of this ARPA process indicated that they wanted to be the final say on these things. So that was the first proposal. The second proposal was from IT, the Information Technology Department. They evidently needed some things that they failed to purchase earlier on, and so now they're coming to the county commissioners and ARPA for $94,666 for some infrastructure, cybersecurity, switches, and some other things that they needed that should have been purchased earlier on but didn't. So this was approved or recommended to be sent on to the County Delegation Executive Committee on a 2-to-1 vote of the County Commissioners. I was the vote not in favor of sending that up. The third ARPA item was from the Department of Corrections to purchase a new service vehicle. This is kind of like what one of the rationales or criteria under the ARPA is, one-time purchases for long-time use. And so this service vehicle would be able to work in providing the officers in a safe environment if they're moving inmates, and also it allows the community corrections to, because it's going to be a pickup truck, a four-wheel drive crew cab pickup truck, and that was for $44,735. And that ARPA request was approved by the commissioners 3-0 to be forwarded on to the county delegation. The next item was from maintenance to address some needed repairs to equipment in the sewer clean-out system at the county facility, the county complex. That was a $7,160 item for a heavy-duty, high-pressure water jet system used for cleaning stubborn clogs in the sewerage pipes. And so $7,160 ARPA request that was approved by the county commissioners to send up to the county delegation 3-0. The next item was also from the maintenance department. That was for $14,000 to replace carpeting in the UNH extension corridor and the conference room. That was $14,000. That was approved by the commissioners for 3-0 to pass on to the county delegation. The most serious part of that concern was the carpeting in the hallway leading into the conference room, and there was quite a couple of major ripples in that carpet that kind of created some safety issues there. The next item, also from the maintenance department, this was putting out to bid the purchase of a new tractor to do snow plowing, snow blowing, sanding, mowing, and that's a $56,200 item request. But this tractor will be put out to bid, and that was also approved 3-0 by the commissioners to send up to the county delegation. The next item was also from the maintenance department, a new project. This is to bring up to date some really serious issues we have with managing the different HVAC, heating, ventilation systems that we have. And that's a $235,400 item, which will also be put out to bid. But there's just so many, we've got 20-year equipment there that is just, can't even get the parts for. So this is to bring all those safety issues up to date, and that was approved by the commissioners 3-0 to send up to the county delegation. The next item was from the Sheriff's Department, the Dispatch Center. This is phase 2 for one of the programs that the Dispatch Center has. One of the commissioners, me, didn't feel it was absolutely necessary and that it did not need to come from the ARPA money, but the other two commissioners voted to approve it. So $48,400 project will be sent up to the delegation for their final decision. This is more for electronic records management. And anyway, the next item, which from the Sheriff's Department Dispatch Center, which is basically a safety issue, and that was for $7,500 to move a radio control station from the courthouse to another site in Grafton County, which would improve operations and be a safety issue for our sheriffs and law enforcement and first responders. That was a $7,500 item that was approved, and I'm over my time. The biggest item that I wanted to, two big items out of the Sheriff's Department that were not approved by the commissioners was a $242,191 item for a part-time dispatcher, and that did not pass on. The commissioners did not approve that on a 3-0 vote. And the last big item from the Sheriff's Department was a $505,570 item for a new deputy sheriff and new part-time detective. And we felt that this was not transparent, that this should be going through a different process at the county and not going through the ARPA program, and that was not approved by the commission, 3-0. And the Sheriff's Department did, for safety reasons, we did approve a new shield at the front desk for the Sheriff's Department of $5,000. That was indeed approved. And the last item, well, the last two items are for body armor for the Sheriff's Department folks and for new equipment for the security people in the courthouse. Those were, well, the security, the soft body armor was approved 3-0 to be sent on. Extra equipment, office equipment and chairs and things for the Sheriff's Department. That was approved by 2 of the Board of Commissioners, and Commissioner Ahern was not in favor of making this $19,838 purchase at this particular time. So that is a quick rundown of the ARPA request. I'm sorry I went over time. I want to thank the folks here at PBTV for allowing me this opportunity. I hope I haven't burned all my bridges today by spending all of this time talking, but I wanted you to know, the amounts of money that the county commissioners are looking at, and we're trying to be efficient, public servants for you folks that are paying money as taxpayers in Grafton County. So if you need to get contact Commissioner Omer Ahern Jr. I'm at 603-764-6024. My email address is omer.ahern.jr@gmail.com. And thank you again to PBTV. God bless America, and God bless the great state of New Hampshire. Thank you very much.